Okay, nobody is sitting there. That is good. Can you still hear? Yes? Okay. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shriniyaam Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhairyajtraah Sthirairangai Stushtvagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravaah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaah Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Mumukshunam Vimuktaye Mandukyam Eva Alam. Alam means enough. Mumukshunam, for the mumukshus, Vimuktaye means for the liberation of the people who desire liberation. This is not working. I can't see half the people here. I'll keep it here. You can take this out. For the liberation of the desirers of liberation, the study of the Mandukya Upanishad is enough. But no other Upanishad is needed. This is a very tall claim, a very big claim, and a tall claim at that, because there's some echo. Little bit. It's having a karaoke effect. Is it better now? Still there? Echo. Yeah. Better? Yeah. Okay. Mumukshuna vimuktaye mandukyameva alam. No other Upanishad or Grantha means any other work, is needed for freedom and liberation. This is a very tall claim to make, meaning all the other things are useless. Every other thing that we study is of no use because this one thing is enough. And that is because the Mandukya Upanishad is a extremely beautiful and special Upanishad. Come forward. Yeah. Promise, I won't bite. Yeah. So, it's a very special Upanishad in the sense that it reveals the truth of the self in a very all-encompassing way. There is nothing that is left out. Jiva, meaning oneself, the individual, Jagat, the universe, and the source of the Jagat, what we call Ishvara, everything is included. And also that which is without name and form, this source of the Jagat, which is Nirguna. Nirguna means without attributes, without name, without form, that which is there, that is also included. A very beautiful Upanishad. Mute everybody. Mute all. Yes. Now nobody will talk. So the Mandukya here, very profound Upanishad and easy to understand also, but since its implications are voluminous, because we have the individual to be accounted for, we have the universe, we have Ishvara, and we have the truth of all three, which is consciousness, awareness. That's a lot of things. And so the Upanishad is a very tiny Upanishad of 12 mantras alone. And to explain these 12 mantras are 4 chapters of commentary in verse called Karika. Karika is by the Grand Guru, as we know, of Adi Shankara. The Grand Guru of Adi Shankara, who is that? Gauda Padacharya. Guru is Govinda Padacharya. Guru's Guru is Gauda Padacharya. And he wrote the Karika in such a way that people were confused, and it's a very ancient text because it precedes Adi Shankara, and he wrote the Karikas in such the verses in such an interesting way that people started to think that it was part of the Upanishads. A lot of people who studied the Upanishad, because see, in those days they're not writing in columns and paragraphs and notebooks and typing and all these things, pages. There's no breaks and nothing. Just keep writing with a stencil-like objects on palm leaf manuscripts. Sometimes a few of them are eaten by goats. Yes, gone. And so, but here it has survived, and it is, so he would write the mantra and then keep writing the commentary and then write another mantra and the commentary. So people could not distinguish between the Upanishad mantra and his commentary. Very few, like Adi Shankara, could distinguish. But when we talk about the qualified dualists, what are they called? Vishishtadvaitins or the Dvaitins, they thought that this is all part of the Upanishad. So the whole Karika is studied along with the Upanishad. Needless to say, we don't have time for that. We barely have time to even skim a few of these 12 verses. We barely have time. And with the weather coming, going, that's why it's called weather, okay? Because we don't know whether we'll have classes or not. All right. So, anyway, today we are here. That is good. And we can enjoy each other. So they could not distinguish between the Karika and the Grantha, the original Mula Grantha, and the Karika. They could not distinguish. So it became a custom to study the whole thing. That's why the study of the Mandukya Upanishad can take a long time, because each chapter is very lengthy, and the shortest one is the first chapter because it's just elucidating the Upanishad mantras, but the rest of it is very, very lengthy, and so it takes a very, very long time. And he goes into the whole argument about why we should study this, and more about that later, why we should study this, and what will we gain as a result of this, who is the audience for this, and also what to do about all these annoying, what are called objectors. Who are the objectors? Purva Pakshis. Purva Pakshi means those people who keep objecting. This is not all right, that is not all right, this should be okay, this, what about this, what about that? And this is how the tradition has built, because it's a series of dialogues, and then we answer the objections, and then more objections are raised, and then those are also answered. This is how the whole entire tradition has built up. And the that is just a little bit about the Karika. It talks of many things, and but the main Upanishad itself is 1.5 pages. That's all. For 12 mantras, and it addresses an important question, a very important question: how to let go of those aspects of the individuality that I do not want to have, that I want to shed with the help of the Upanishad. Okay? So, how to let go of the things that I am not at all proud of? Because there are many things like that. Everybody has them. I don't like that I do this. I don't like that I do that. I don't like that I'm very picky. I don't like that I'm very controlling. Or I don't like that I'm afraid. I don't like that I have low self-confidence. There's a whole series of things. This constitutes what is called jivatvam, jiva-ness. Jiva means one who has a lot of peeves, piva. Okay? Jivahood, jiva-ness, this is what it is. So this is the jiva. And what is jiva-ness? Jiva-ness is that which constitutes not individuality. We are not afraid of being an individual. But what becomes scary is being an individual while we are in the being an individual alienated from everybody else, alienated from other jivas. This is the problem. The problem is not that I am in this body, mind, sense complex. That is an objective fact. That I is the indweller of this body, mind, sense complex is an objective fact. The problem is that I'm not able to connect with other jivas. First of all, there is an inner split between myself. I'm barely able to connect with myself, okay? On good days, I'm able to connect, but rest of the time I'm not. And then there is the difficulty in connecting with the Jagat also. Jagat means this whole universe of names and forms. Why is there difficulty? Because everything is out to get me. Even though it may be small, it's out to get me. And so this goes in connection with what is talked about in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is Dvaitadhi Bhayam Bhavati. Because of duality alone, there is fear. Duality is the cause of fear. As soon as I think or I understand or misapprehend the reality and think everything is a discrete thing separate from everything else, as soon as I come to that conclusion, what is happening? I suffer because I am separate from everything else. Separation causes anxiety. Therefore, it's called separation anxiety. Starts at 2, does not quit even at 92. Okay, still is there. Where are my children? That is what at 92, that is the thing. Why have they gone away from me? Separation anxiety. Feeling alone is one thing, but that deep loneliness, which is the disconnection from oneself and from others, is the issue. Then, of course, If this is the reality of the everyday, then we cannot expect there to be a connection with the source of the universe. We don't even know if there is a source. What is this source? God. What is this God? Where is this God? Sometimes the head goes up, don't know why. Then you need one chiropractor or a massage therapist to bring you back. What is this God? Where is this God? We don't know. And also, to make matters difficult, this concept of some concept of God or the other has been pushed down most people's throats, and these concepts have been inherited, not by choice, but because somebody told you have to believe. Somebody said this is how it is. Whether it was in the family or in the community, these are all inherited things. And so therefore, there is alienation, because how can I just buy into somebody's belief? Or even some holy book says there is such a thing as God. How do I know? I haven't seen, I haven't experienced, and so there is a sense of distance. There is pain. Distance always causes some pain because we don't know how it is supposed to be. We don't know, and we know there is a yearning for oneness, but then this distance causes a lot of pain, and so therefore we are in this predicament. And what is this predicament? The predicament of having not only not understood what Ishvara is, but not knowing how to connect. Both these situations are fraught with problems. So this alienation from the source is a costly alienation, because it leads me to think that I am a dependent entity. Because if I don't know that I am not alienated from the source, and if I don't know that this source is the truth of myself alone, is the truth of the Jagat, then two things can happen. First is not knowing, ajnanam, and the second thing is therefore coming to wrong conclusions about myself, the universe, and also Ishvara. And these wrong conclusions are there only for human beings, so nobody else. Yeah. Dog also doesn't know I am God. It doesn't know. Maybe there is a spelling mistake in my name. It doesn't think. It doesn't know. But then, in its favor, is this not knowing. The not knowing is not vitiated by wrong knowing. In the human being, the not knowing doesn't sit quietly. The ajnanam, does a little bit of mischief. What does the ajnanam do? The ajnanam is sitting. Ajnanam means not knowing. Not knowing my nature as the whole, as free, fulfilled, happy, ananda. I don't know. Okay. Even the dog doesn't know. What's the difference between me and the dog? The dog doesn't complain. I do. Because the animals are more or less programmed. And therefore utterly predictable. If you go and stand behind a donkey, what can you expect? Yeah, finally some signs of life came alive. Yes. Of course, even if a sadhu goes and stands behind the donkey, and then you should say, come on, Swami Vimudhananda is standing behind donkey, please don't kick. If you tell this to the donkey, will it listen? No. If it suddenly feels like giving a nice tight kick, it's going to kick. It's not going to say, oh, sadhu, somebody in orange is there. You can't blame the donkey. Who should you blame? Sadhu. You should say, what's wrong with you? Yes. Your guru was correct in removing you, in renaming you deluded Ananda. Yes. Vimudhananda means utterly deluded Ananda. We will question the sanity of the sadhu, not the donkey. Because animals have freedom of action, but they do not have freedom over action. There's a very big difference. Freedom of action, it means it has the freedom to kick, but it doesn't have the freedom not to kick. You see? Yeah. A small child also, 6 months old, it's just vigorously, you put it on your lap, it's vigorously kicking the parents, kicking whoever it is, 6 months old. Then even if it kicks a little bit at 1 or 2 years old, it's cute. But then at 22, if it starts, this child starts kicking at this man or woman, starts kicking at 22, extremely uncute. It's not expected, and it is what can I say? It is outgrown, because there is freedom, there is a free will, and the will is extremely free. My self-awareness is so free that I'm aware of everything. Everything becomes evident to me. What about myself? Evident to me. I am also evident to me. Everything is evident to me. And so this being the nature of the jiva, the human jiva, then we have a complex problem. Animals are better off. That's why they are called muktaha. Muktaha means they're already free. At least in that particular life they are free. They are just exhausting karma. They are not gaining new karma. They are better off than all of us put together, because they are okay. However they are, wherever they are okay. But for us, what happens for us is that there is some kind of a gripe. I am free enough to be aware of everything, and this freedom comes at a cost. I'm free enough to judge myself and everything around me. This leads to the alienation. So this is anyatha jnanam, not knowing myself, ajnanam, and knowing myself wrongly. Like our stock example. What is that? Rope snake. Over which there is a ropa. Okay? Yes. So this rope snake, there again, the rope is somewhat known. That is what the example is. The rope is the adhishthana, the source. The source of the projection is somewhat known. If it was fully known, there would be no snake. How can there be snake on a known rope? On a known adhishthana, there cannot be an aropa, adhyasa. If the rope was completely unknown, it's pitch dark, moonless night, and somewhere in the wilderness, no lights, nothing, then also neither you see snake nor you see rope. It could be anything. Then also there is no mistake. The mistake happens, maybe that's why the example is always set in twilight. There is something there, and it conveniently has 3 bends, and it's lying there, and then you don't know it's a rope, but you know that there is something there, and therefore the fear in the heart is projected onto the object on the ground, and this is what is called anyatha jnanam. Ajnanam, I don't know what it is. Anyatha jnanam, therefore I project my fear. And why only fear? These Vedantins don't know how to talk about other things. Oh, only fear, 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 sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. Bhaya nivritti, shoka nivritti. What is wrong with all of you? Why don't you talk of happy longings? Okay, take a happy longing. Shuktika rajatam. We have example for that also. I just came from the Bahamas, so I'm walking on the beach. Yeah. I'm walking on the beach, and then I see something shiny in the sand. And then I think it's a silver dollar. Maybe I read in the paper that the government is releasing silver dollar for the 250th birthday of the United States. And so I think, what is this? Silver dollar, silver $10 coin. Oh my God, it's right here. Some stupid person left it on the beach. Their loss is my gain. I run, and it's not easy to run in the sand, okay? But I still run. And when I go and examine it, what happens? Shuktika, mother of pearl. At least if I had got pearl, it would have been fine. Yeah. But it is the relative of the pearl. Okay? And so therefore, no fun at all. No fun. And so, see, it's not just all about fear. This is a longing, not just a fear. This is a different kind of a longing. And so, therefore, we see that these two things show that this anyatha jnanam, this knowledge, wrong knowledge, is called anyatha jnanam, mistakes made up for about everything from myself to the source of the universe. These misapprehensions are cultivated from childhood, and until we study Vedanta, we even if we know we have them, sometimes we know we have them, but we don't know how to shed them. That's why Upanishad, yes, they help us to shed this, and that is why it is called Upanishad. Shadalr is the root verb. Shadalr. Shadalr means to discard, to remove. Many things you can remove, but they come back slowly. When you're not looking, they come back. So to remove, to uproot without a trace. What kind of a removal it is? The second meaning is to uproot without a trace, and then finally it brings you back to yourself, which is Brahman. Brahma Gamayati. These three meanings are there in the word Upanishad already built in, and then we have two prefixes, Upa and Ni. What is Upa? Near. How does it remove this? By revealing that which is near. That which is near means what? The near is very relative. It's a very relative near. It's not, nothing is absolute. Near is a relative term. It is always in connection to something else. You can say, from the standpoint of Alpharetta, the Highlands subdivision is near. And from the standpoint of Georgia, Atlanta is near. And from the standpoint of the United States, Georgia is near. Like this, we can keep on going all the way to the galaxies. There is no near. But here, Upa, Samipe, near means it is the nearest to us. What is the nearest to us? Ourselves. Yeah? Even before you take the name of something or somebody really dear to you, what is dear to us is ourselves. Very, very dear to us. And so that which is the nearest and the dearest, the most beloved self, which is mistaken to be a sad, mad thing, sad, mad, bad thing, and then we are keeping on having trouble with self-perception, with the perception of the universe, etc., etc. So Ni means the Nishchayena, which definitely corrects that perception by uprooting wrong notions and repatriating with the truth of ourselves. This is the Upanishad. Mandukya is the Upanishad that has come from a rishi called Manduka. Manduka means frog. The rishi was not a frog. Okay. And maybe when he was a child he leapt a lot. We don't know. Maybe that's why. But we don't know anything about this rishi. And this rishi channeled this Upanishad. Channeled means in wonderful states of meditation. This was revealed knowledge. So even though it has the name of the sage who channeled it, he is not the author of it, because Upanishad cannot have author. Why can't it have author? Because if anything that has an author is fallible. And we are told to see the source of this knowledge that's going to help us to free ourselves from ourselves as infallible. And so therefore, we see the source as revealed. This is true of every religion. Revealed text, revealed by Ishvara alone in the form of rishis, sages, prophets, whatever you want to call it. And so this Upanishad also is part of what is called the primary Upanishads studied in any long-term course, Vedanta course. And it is usually taught at the very end because of its complexity, because of the karika being there, and also because of the fact that it takes a long time to study, and before that one has to know many things, and therefore it is taught at the end of the study. And why are we teaching it? Why are we looking at it here now? Is it the end of the study? No. But then it is true that all of you have been studying for a very long time in Atlanta. I was just counting the years. I have been coming here for 23 years. Yes. So that's a long time. Not everybody was here. Yeah, some people were here from the beginning, so we know that, and for 23 years. And so, if this is not the time to study Mandukya, which else? When else is it time? You please tell me. So, and also you won't be studying whole of it, just the part that pertains to Om. And what are the title of this talk series? Being at home with Om. And some people thought it is staying at home with Om. So, and then the weather, because of the weather, they all are staying at home. We have a lot of people online. Most of them must be from Atlanta only. Okay, yeah. So we need this Upanishad because there is because of this gap. First of all, this gap between Jiva and Ishvara is a painful gap. Why? Because the very idea of Ishvara is, if we don't understand it, is either frightening or objectionable. Frightening because it's other than me, and then you say, oh, Ishvara is omniscient. And who are you? Struggling to spell the word omniscient. You know, this is who I am. I am what? How can I say I'm omniscient? I'm still spelling the word. Always I before E, except after C. These are all the grammar rules that come. And then for that also there will be some exceptions. And so here we are in the situation of really struggling to connect to the whole. First of all, we wonder how to spell this word whole. Is it H-O-L-E or is it W-H-O-L-E? And this source, what is this source? But then this is something needed because at the same time there is a yearning for oneness. Who wants to be isolated? Nobody. Who wants to be feeling lonely? Nobody. And this is true. You ask anybody anywhere, they will say, no, I want to be connected. I want to be with everybody and everything. I want to be one with everything. That craving for oneness, sometimes it comes across as a craving to be connected to something bigger than what one is. Sometimes it shows up as connection with a large group of people or even a small group of people, and then sometimes it is this longing comes if one is very devotional from childhood like Mirabai, etc. The longing comes as the desire for oneness with Ishvara, Bhagavan. So this is one reason. Because of this alienation, the Upanishad takes on a very important role. Any Upanishad, but this one has a very interesting detail which we'll come to. Any Upanishad takes on a major role for those who seek to be connected to the whole. And then the other reason is because So one is afraid of Ishvara, first reason. Second reason is one is unable to relate because of authority issues. Authority issues means, who are you to be setting my life? And what a rotten life you have given me, may I add. And then, why is it like this? Look at the other person, so rich, so happy, so wonderful, so fulfilled. And me, look at me, why am I like this? And why have I always, everybody feels this, all 8 billion people feel this. Why do I have the short end of the stick? Why I am not blessed? Why I am not connected? Why do I have to have this particular burden in my life? Why do I have to this pain to carry? Why do I have this kind of a childhood? Why did I have this kind of a childhood? Why did I have these kinds of parents? Look at that one. This is all one's own notions. Look at that one. Look at this one. Their parents are so nice. Why I had to have these kinds of parents? So this alienation and fear is one thing, but then there is this anger, a deep, unexpressed anger, which is there, a silent, smoldering anger against the source of the universe. And this also makes itself appear in the form of what we call atheism, because it's easier to say there is nothing there. It's just a bunch of molecules randomly in different permutations, different combinations, different kinds of ways they have come together. But this is a little bit against logic, because if molecules came together and formed the brain, how did they know to form the brain, that this is how I have to be? And if certain other molecules came together and formed the kidneys, how did they know that they have to form the kidneys? How did the kidney molecules not become brain by mistake and started to leak information, and so we couldn't retain anything? How did that not happen? How is there, despite our disbelief, despite our misapprehension, how is there a palpable order in the universe? How come it is there? This is something to think about. This is what is called Shruti Anukula Yukti. We also use logic, but it is in keeping with what is revealed by the Shruti. It cannot be Shruti Pratikula Yukti, it cannot be. It is more in keeping with what needs to be revealed. We can help ourselves with these kinds of questions, and when we look at how orderly this universe is, there is a place for everything. There is a place for like, even if we take the psychological order, there is a place for every emotion. Every emotion is valid. Every emotion is totally valid. There's nothing invalid about pain. There's nothing invalid about sorrow. There's nothing invalid about feeling alienated. Anger is valid, because there's always a reason. Given this situation, these kinds of emotions will come. That is why psychology becomes a very important branch of knowledge. You can study the person's thinking, you can study the person's feelings, and you can't study feelings if there is nothing in common with people. If the feelings and the people are not, if certain peoples are not having the certain feelings, we cannot study. There is an order. And even aberration in this order is part of the order. This is a very big mega order. So even the disorder is part of the order. Same thing with the anatomical order. Wherever there is a stomach, it will feel hungry. Yes, an important order. Thank God, if there was no hunger, everybody would just die off because we wouldn't be eating. We won't be eating. And to help us eat, the olfactory nerves are given. Oh, what is that smell? Oh, chocolate, very nice. That smell attracts. That's why when there is a cold or COVID in the olden times, what did it do? It took away the sense of smell. Didn't feel hungry, didn't have an appetite. So there is smell, and then to make us eat, there is also tongue, rasana, jihva is there. And the tongue, the tongue goes to various restaurants. You can leave the body parts behind. You just send the tongue. That's all is the main thing. For the 3-inch tongue, the whole restaurant industry is there. Really? Because once you swallow, you may as well be on a feeding tube. You don't taste anything. So you see the order of hunger, how intelligent it is. And then, it makes us eat, it makes us, nourish this body and save it for moksha, help it to keep it alive. All these things are part of this intelligence. There is an intelligence. There is a palpable intelligence in the form of the knowledge of everything. Our knowledge is finite. Pujya Swamiji used to say, our knowledge is up to one more question. What is this? Flower. What flower is this? I know, rose. Why is this rose this color and that rose that color? Oh, to attract the bees and pollination, self-preservation, propagation. And by this time we are feeling very good. Yes, 3 questions I have answered about this rose. One more question you ask. Why is it like this? Well, why does it happen? Only people should have hips, but rose is having hips. Why does it have hips? Yeah. Once I saw, somewhere, rose hips tea. So rose also started to have hips. So why does the rose have hips? I don't know. Typical American way of I don't know is what? Shrug the shoulders. Leave them down. I don't know, and I don't care to know as well. So we have here our knowledge is only up to one more question. But there is some entity there that knows. That is everything. And we cannot afford to not know this entity, because this entity is oneself, is the truth of oneself. The fear comes because we think of this entity as all-powerful, almighty, and think of oneself as what? All useless. Dasasya, 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 dasoham. Bhrityasya, bhrityasya, bhrityasya. I'm the servant of 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 the servant. Like this, certain prayers say that. While it is good for bhavana, bhavana means a certain kind of emotion, a certain kind of a reverence, devotion, it's okay. But that's not the reality. The reality is that the authority issues that started with the primary, what? Caregivers. Okay, yeah, that started with the primary caregivers has vitiated my understanding of the truth of myself from the other side, from the collective side, known as Ishvara. The same intelligence obtaining in this body-mind-sense complex, the same knowing being is called Jiva, Atma. And that same knowing being, equipped with the Shakti to create, the Shakti to resolve, the Shakti to sustain, is known as Ishvara. Shakti is dispensable? Yes. Shakti is kalpita. It is dispensable. And here also this body, mind, sense complex and everything that I take it to be myself, that is also what? Dispensable. And so that is why this Upanishad gives a very in the beginning it looks all too simple, and actually it is, but it is very profound, and then it is very involved, and therefore it looks to be difficult, but actually it gives a very simple solution to this Jiva Ishvara divide, to this God, world, and individual divide, to this feeling that I have to be somehow, uh, I have to be somehow forging a connection, because that is itself the first mistake. I have to do something in order to get rid of insecurity. I have to forge a connection because I feel unconnected, and I have to do this in order to remove sorrow. I have to do this in order to remove fear. And when I say this, what is behind this premise? Fear is real, insecurity is real, and lack of connection is real, longing is real, and loneliness is real, alienation is real, everything is real. Even the most insecure person, I mean, if we think of somebody who is very insecure, if you ask them, what do you want? Do you want freedom? Do you want to remove insecurity? Or do you want to discover that you are secure? This is the question. Those are two different questions. Remove insecurity means I have already come to the conclusion what? I am insecure. I have no confidence. I am as good as this body, mind, sense complex. I am small, I am not all. This is the conclusion. And the conclusion is questioned, because the conclusion, if it is real, then we have no problem accepting it. But it is not real. Why? Because that which is real must not be negatable. Reality must be the same in all three periods of time, and it must not be negatable. So I am alienated. This so-called reality, what is it? It is negated. When is it negated? In sleep. Whether the sleep comes in Vedanta class or outside Vedanta class. Okay. So therefore we have to ask ourselves this question. We have to ask ourselves, is it true that I am insecure? Should I try removing the security, or should I know that I am already secure? So because if I try removing the insecurity doesn't really exist. And then what am I going to use to remove the insecurity? Actions. The actions that are there are finite. The results of the actions eminently finite. So they are not conducive for gaining this knowledge, because this knowledge is already there. You are free. You are whole. You are one with the source of the universe. And so the authority issue is another reason for fear and sometimes even denial of Ishvara. Because Ishvara is not a matter for belief, it is a matter for understanding the truth of myself. It is actually a course of study to see that all that is here is connected, and the so-called connector, equipped with the ability to create, sustain, whatever it is, that is non-separate than myself. Very beautiful. And why should I know this? Why can't I continue how I was continuing, plus have a few dollops of security and have a few scoops of happiness? It should be all right. This is not okay, primarily because we have to see where the craving is. What is the longing? The longing to be happy is the longing to be connected, is the longing to be one, is the longing to be whole, is the longing for that oneness, which we say is already a fact. The seeker is the sought. There is no other seeker other than the sought. The seeker is indeed the sought, and this has to be discovered. And in this discovery comes the great blessing of not only oneness, but a self-standingness which otherwise one lacked. Why? Why does the one not understand I am independent of everything? I don't understand because the whole life is full of dependencies. The dependency is because of the longing to matter, the longing to be somebody, the longing to matter, the longing to be counted, the longing to uh, remove insecurity. In order to remove insecurity, what do I want? I want things. So if I get this, I will be secure. And then people. If I surround myself with people, I will be secure. This notion of limitedness, again, let me have some more people. That's why many times marriages take place. Limited plus limited, yeah, private limited, yeah. Limited plus limited, private limited. So, please close the door. Thank you. Private limited, this is what happens. Because the person from whom we are seeking this security is what? Also insecure. So for a while it works. In a way, it works. For a while, it works. After that, back to square one. You bring out their insecurities, and then they bring out your insecurities. And the loop goes on and on. And so the Upanishad, this particular Upanishad, gives a very simple way of looking at this oneness. And it gives a name for it also. Let us say that the truth of the whole universe, including you, let us give it a name. What is the name? Om. Just give it a name. Om. And let's see where that Om takes us. This is what it says. I will read a few things and you can repeat after me, only because it is so much fun and it is so beautiful. Hope I haven't closed that file. We will see, because we were trying to do many things here. Om iti etadaksharam idam sarvam tasya upavyakyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam omkarah eva yaccha anyat त्रिकालातीतं तदपि ओंकारः एव. So, Om iti starts with the word Om. Correct? Om iti, Om, this, Om, thus. What is this Om? Iti, etat aksharam. Etat aksharam. Akshara means two things. Akshara means syllable. Om is a syllable. Om. That's all. A syllable with 3.5 matras. Syllable. And then akshara has one more meaning. Naksharati iti aksharaha. Imperishable. Akshara is imperishable because we did not make them. Akshara means alphabets. Alphabets, we did not make them. The animals may have made them. We did not make them. They were there even before us. Like for example, you open your mouth and make a sound. What sound will come? Show me at least one sign. Open your mouth, make a sound. No matter where you are, if you have a human voice box, you open your mouth, make a sound, ah, that's what will come. If you are a crow, if you open your mouth, make a sound, ah. But we are not talking of crows here. Yes. No kakas here. We are what? Only talking of human voice acoustics. So, if we find out, if we try to say, who is the author of the syllable ah? No, it is not made, there was no beginning, the ah, the sound ah, does it have a birthday? No. It doesn't have a beginning. And then when will the sound ah come to an end? Maybe all human beings have to die. Everybody, pralaya comes and it has to go. But then pralaya for us is not, what is that word which starts with A? Apocalypse. It's not apocalypse. It's cycles of creation. When the next cycle happens, what? Ah, again will come. Either a human being or a human-like being which can make this sound. Actually, we are not making the sound. The sound is already there. It's just being, that's why Sanskrit is such a fantastic language. It takes the sounds that are there based on the human voice acoustics and maps these sounds according to the effort, prana, alpa prana, mahaprana, according to whether the mouth is open, vivrita, or samvrita, closed. Certain things you don't open the mouth for. Certain other things you have to open the mouth. Yeah. Can't speak French and Spanish don't go together. Because this is, French and Sanskrit do not go together. Because this is a 100% phonetic language. What you see is what you get, what you see is what you articulate. This is how it is. So, the word a, nobody made. You cannot say there is an author for the word and there is a beginning, there's a copyright with somebody, sitting somewhere in Sweden, the copyright for the syllable, for the sound ah. No. It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't have a birthday because the om is a combination of a, u and Om. This is what we know, and they are all aksharas. So you have opened the mouth and made a sound. Close your mouth and make a sound. That's the only sound that can come. No other sound. You try making some other sound now and see. This is the only sound that can come. You close your mouth and make a sound, only will come. And then the u stands for that which is between the open mouth sound and the closed mouth sound. All the vyanjanas, all the swaras, all the, what are they called, vowels, all the consonants, and everything is included in u. Nobody made them. They were already there. That's why the aksharas are called akshara, because they are imperishable. They are Bhagavan made. If anybody is the author, it is Bhagavan. It is the setup itself is like this. They are Bhagavan made, the setup itself is like this, and so this is how it is, and it is imperishable. Imperishable, and here imperishable has a double meaning, because Om as the reality of myself is what? Perishable or imperishable? Abba, finally the correct answer. Yes. So, now, Om iti etad aksharam, and then, now we know, this much we know. Om iti etad aksharam. What about this aksharam? Idam sarvam. Idam sarvam is not a small expression. Sarvam means what? All. Idam sarvam. All this can be reduced to one syllable. What is that? Om. Here an om, there an om, everywhere om, om. Yes. You can't say old MacDonald. Om MacDonald. What you have to say? That he is also om. Yes. It's om. From start to finish, what is it? Om. Wherever you look, it's om. And this is how we are told to greet each other as sannyasis. Om, 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 om. And om, when you say, there is the articulation of this. It's a sound symbol. We have to see a few things about this om. It's a sound symbol. It's also a very sound symbol. It's a wonderful symbol. But here we are talking about, it's a symbol which is not like the swastika, which is not a drawn geometrical symbol. The swastika is a geometrical symbol connoting well-being until it was appropriated by Hitler, and now even we are, we have trouble using it. We have to reclaim that, because that is not, what he did is reprehensible and not even worth talking about. But here we are talking of a sight symbol. Sight symbol are things that certain, for example, hieroglyphic writing and rock paintings by indigenous people and cave people from long time ago, those are all, when you see, certain emotions are evoked, certain things are there, they draw certain things which have a transformative effect. Here the transformation comes when you hear it. So it's a sound symbol. Although many ashrams, they have a pictorial big om. Bigger the ashram, bigger the om that is there. And then some ashrams have multiple oms. Yeah, everywhere there is om, 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 om. This Upanishad says it is not necessary. It is not necessary. Why? Because everything is om. How many oms will you put? Where all will you put oms? You can't put om everywhere, and so therefore it is nothing to even put, because it is not a depiction symbol. It's not a symbol that is for the sight. And the Sanskrit word is pratima. It is not a pratima. It is a sound symbol, pratika. So there is a difference. Pratika is a sound symbol. This is so this is, certain other things are when you draw it and see it. But the power of the om is in the articulation, so we are asked to repeat it constantly. Now, if you sit at home and keep saying what? Om, 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 night and day. You om it out, you om in the morning, you om in the afternoon, you om in the evening, you om at night. After a while, you feel like leaving home. Because it generates that longing to be one with everything, and it satisfies the longing also. The power of the sound satisfies the longing to be one with everything, and so you feel like leaving home. If you're not ready to do that, don't chant only Om. Kevala Omkara, don't chant. Add it to Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Bhur Bhuvas Suvaha, anything. You add it to a mantra. Then you get the combined benefit of the Om and also of the mantra. Every mantra is potent, and it is all channeled by rishis and everything. And so we get the benefit of the mantras, benefit of all the gurus who have chanted the mantra and given to us. we get the benefit of ancient mantras, we also get the benefit of Om. Sannyasis, on the other hand, are told to chant only Om. Why? Because we don't want them coming back. Once they have left and gone, it is auspicious for them to stay on the other side. Okay? And so they are told, please keep chanting Om, Om, Om. So the chanting of the Om is like the collapsing of the entire Shri Rudram. If you want to say the entire Shri Rudram in one syllable, it is what? Om. That's why the Shri Rudram also grows dispassion. If you keep chanting Shri Rudram, then you grow weary of the daily grind. You say, why should it exist? Why am I doing this? What is wrong with me day after day? And if one is not ready to study or to probe into the meaning of the word Om, then again we have to take it with some, what should I say, you just chant it once a day, that's enough. The sannyasis are told to chant Rudram all the time, because we want the sannyasis to keep questioning this universe, to question the alienation, to question everything all the time. And so this is Om. Om is, as I said, A plus U plus M. Grammatically also, we can have the same derivation. A plus U, because of Sandhi, what does it become? O. And then you add a pratyaya called manin, and then it is Om. So A plus U is ava, ava. Ava is the root verb. Ava plus manin becomes Om. Avati protects. Rakshati iti Om. Om is a syllable, is a word that protects. Protects what? From what? Me from myself. Me from jiva-ness. Jiva-ness means separation. Jiva-ness means pain. Jiva-ness means sorrow. Jiva-ness means alienation, fear, the whole thing. It protects me from all of this and keeps me one with everything. This is Om. And of course, when you chant, you don't separate the syllables. You don't say Aum. Yeah. Sometimes it is spelled like that, A-U-M. Pujya Swamiji relates the story of how in his brahmachari days, he went to an ashram. And there everybody was chanting Aum, Aum, Aum. And he was very perplexed. Next morning he was taking a walk, and then he met a dog on the way, and the dog was just waking up after its little nap, and it did downward dog, of course, it did downward facing dog, and then it went, ow. And then he was walking with another sannyasi from the ashram, and he said, I have only one question, Swami. What is your question? Did the ashramites learn from the dog, or did the dog learn from the ashramites? So, yeah, so what is the correct pronunciation? Oh. Yes. And in fact, all the Upanishads, the explanation of Om is there. Explanation of Om is there in the Shanti Mantra, explanation of Om is there in all of the Upanishads, especially this Upanishad, because it's all devoted to Om. And then Kathopanishad also talks about Om. Shvetashvatara Upanishad talks about Om. Mundaka Upanishad talks about Om. Everywhere the presence of Om is there. And then, so this Om is a very succinct sound, a sound symbolizing unification of that which is separate, a sound symbolizing healing of various fractures, mostly perceived, because there is no fracture. The fracture is deep inside the antahkarana, the inner infrastructure. So it's a sound of healing, it's a sound of completion, it's a sound of oneness. And it's a sound of auspiciousness, because that is the ultimate. Because the auspiciousness means it should be after gaining auspiciousness, one should not look for more auspiciousness. You see my point? That means what? That means that it was not auspicious. Because if I'm looking for more and more favorableness, more and more auspiciousness, what does that mean? That whatever that was there was not auspicious. So therefore, it's the final Mangalam auspiciousness. It is said that when Brahma, not Brahman, Lord Brahmaji created this universe, then what happened? He said, Om Atha. 2 words just came out. Kantham Vitva Viniryatau. Dvau Etau. Which 2? Om and Atha. Brahmanaha, from this Brahmaji, Pura. Pura means, Srishtehe Urdhvam. After the creation of this universe, he said, Om. He gave himself a pat on the back. Not bad, look. Om. Meaning there is nothing more to create. It's all done. Finished. And this is a wonderful universe, Om and Atha. So therefore, these 2 words are seen as auspicious. They have an auspicious, the sound is auspicious, they have a connotation of something that is favorable, auspicious, something we want everywhere. And so then this Upanishad says, this idam sarvam Omkaraha. Why? Because it all came from Om. It is sustained by Om, and then it goes back to Om. Om is the name of the source. Om is the truth of myself. Om is the truth of Ishvara. Om is that oneness between Ishvara and Jiva. Everything is Om alone. Idam sarvam Omkaraha eva. And I want us to really listen to these words. Idam sarvam Omkaraha eva. Included in that, idam sarvam, all this, are all the things. My feelings are included. My body is included. My mind is included. Everything is included. And what is this Omkara? It's everything. And everything means the limited is included. All the limited things are included means what? It's limitless. The limited is no longer in existence because the limited, the so-called limited, has become one with that which is limitless. There is no more limited. So idam sarvam omkara means I cannot say now I am upset. Where is the upset? It is omkara. There is no upset. Now I am angry. There is nothing there. There is no you as a separate entity is not there. You are there, but then what are you there as? You are as a jnani enjoying this body-mind-sense complex without feeling trapped by it. There's a very big difference. Enjoying the body-mind-sense complex without the sense of trapping. And then, so idam sarvam omkaraha eva. One more thing that is, so this means it is, idam sarvam means it is cannot be negated. If it is the source, it cannot be negated. Abadhitam satum. It cannot be negated. And then one more thing it indicates, this line, idam sarvam omkaraha eva, omkaraha alone is all this, meaning that whatever I want and whatever I am searching for is included in this Om. And this Om being imperishable, Whatever I'm wanting for, whatever I'm lacking, is also what? Is not knowing myself as this imperishable one. So this is tasya upakhyanam, means now an unfoldment of Om is going to follow. How is it going to follow? The first thing is there. What is it? Yat bhutam. Bhutam means what? Past, gone. That which is gone. History of the rise and fall of so many empires. What is that? Byzantine Empire. We learn all this in history books. And then the Mesopotamian civilization, Indus Valley civilization, Greek civilization, there was a rise, there was a sustenance, there was a fall. All this is bhuta, past. And even if you take India, then there is the Kalinga war and this war and that war. Everything is included in this bhuta. Everything that is past is what? Om. Yeah, now whatever question I ask, the answer is what? Om. Good. Okay. All right. So, everything in the past is what? Om. Then, yat bhutam. And then, yat bhutam, yat bhavat means that which is happening now, present continuous. Bhavat. Now it is happening. What is happening now? You are listening, Swami is talking, fan is moving, and we are sitting here, and then all this is that is happening now. And like this, so many people may be studying Vedanta all over the world. Think about it. What a lovely thought. And then everybody is listening. And maybe even this Upanishad is being taught. Maybe in other lokas also it's being taught. Brahma Loka it may be being taught. Other places it may be being taught. And so all this that is happening now, and this is just a small little sliver of life, plus so many other people are doing so many other things. Some people are watching something, some people are sleeping in some other parts of the world, some people are just waking up because of the various time zones, etc. Or even without time zone, people sleep at odd times, that is also there. So when all this is happening, now let us say, if we take a slice of now, what is that? Om. That is also included in Om. And then what is going to happen? Nobody knows. What is going to happen? Who knows? Nobody knows. When it's going to happen? Who knows? Nobody knows. And then, but still, whatever is yet to happen is also what? Om. Om, 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 Om. Past, present, future, Om. So, both the definitions of reality are given here. Idam sarvam omkaraha, when it says all this is Om, meaning it cannot be negated. Because everything resolves in Om, is sustained by Om and has come from Om, meaning the Om cannot be negated. Abadhitam sat. Non-negatable reality is indicated. It's not, the word Om is not non-negatable. That truth indicated by the word Om is non-negatable. Like the Om is the finger pointing to that nameless, formless thing, that vastu, which is myself, which is beyond objectification, which cannot at all be objectified. It's pointing to that. So the Om is just a signpost. It is not the thing, because the thing is not a thing, and the thing does not have a name, does not have a form. Oh, how will I know it? Because it's you. You already know it. How will I know it? Because it is self-evident. Are you here?
Yes.
Yes. Don't say Om now, because you said every answer to every question should be Om. Yes, I'm here. And what makes you say yes? What makes you say yes is the fact that you cannot deny yourself. That undeniable self-standing reality is you. And that alone is Om. So the first portion, when you say idam sarvam omkaraha eva, it's the definition of Om as the non-negatable reality of this entire world of names and forms, and also of that which is the truth of all names and forms. And then when it says yat bhutam, yat bhavat, yat bhavishyat eva, tadapi omkarha, when it says that which was past, which is presently happening, and what is yet to come is all Om, that means it is not subject to time. That's why the past, present and future have come, correct? It's not subject to time. When did Om start? No such date. No date. What is the beginning? What is the birthday of Om? I want to sing it happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Om. Doesn't have a birthday because it is birthless. Birthless means also deathless. And deathless, birthless means self-standing reality, independent of every single thing. What kind of a reality do we live? A dependent reality. The jiva, even though the jiva is also what? Oh, the jiva does not know that because of self-ignorance. The jiva thinks, I am a dependent reality. I am an effect. The body is an effect, true. The body is the effect of 5 elements, but there is an attachment to the word I. She's telling me my time is up. So the body is just not I. The I is, the body is perishable, and I can see that. The body is observable. I can see that. You can see that. After a certain age, everything starts to hang out. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah. Everything hangs out, and everything sags. Yes. There's a baggy, saggy feeling everywhere. But then who am I? Am I Mr. Baggy Saggy? No, I am the observer of Baggy Saggy. And if I am observer of Baggy Saggy, I cannot observe Baggy Saggy if I am Baggy Saggy. So I am not Baggy Saggy. I am the observer of Baggy Saggy. That means what? I am not subject to time. I am Om. And this much is enough. We have talked a lot today. So we'll make a little more. Will there be class tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow it's actually good.
It's fine, right? Yeah. All right. So Saturday we will not have the morning session. Morning session will be in Nidhi's house, and everybody has the address, I think, in the flyer. And yeah, so 10 o'clock we will meet there. Okay. So we will do that. So tomorrow we'll say a few more things about this Om. A few more verses we will see. And since the introduction will not be necessary, we may make a little more progress. If we don't finish, I'll come again, all right? And then we'll continue. No problem. All right. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you all for coming and not staying at home with Om, and for those who stayed at home with Om, thanks to them also for logging in. Very nice. Wonderful. All right. Prasad is there to give out. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. A day will come where we can do e-prasad. I'll show it like this and the apple will be in your hand. I'm waiting for Dwapara Yuga.
That is also.
Yeah, that is also.
I'm coming there, Svatmavidyananda.
Some people don't want to catch.
Cannot catch.
I can throw, but I cannot catch. I don't know why. That's all? There's more? Okay. These are easier to throw and easier to catch also. Come. Very nice to see you. Om Namah Shivaya. Good health and long life to both of you. Thank you. How are you? I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Yes, tomorrow lunch I'm bringing it.
Yes. What time you're coming?
You tell me.
Well, okay. Siti, come. How are you? Good. You came alone?
He's coming tomorrow.
Okay. Who didn't get prasad? Who did not get prasad? Come, Perry.
This is Rani Swaminiji.
Nice to meet you.
She is very well known to Shobha ji, so
Yes.
Shobha would have done a
Yes.
good introduction. But I know her as a Sanskrit student.
Very nice. Very happy that you are studying.
You say oh.
Yes.
Do we overuse oh? I got one from
You cannot overuse Om. Yeah. You cannot. Here, give this to Claudia. Claudia.
And she goes to Chinmaya Mission. They go to the Chinmaya Mission Alfreda. And she's a very good artist, Swaminiji.
I'm very happy to meet you.
I need to just ask for your introduction. I don't know why she's doing my introduction, but
I have no introduction. Om. That's all. We are all Om. I am also Om.
I think I recall coming once for your class.
You
maybe a few
look
years
familiar.
ago.
You look familiar to me.
One of the